A full meal plan guaranteed to have you gain muscle. Okay people, let's get straight into the video. Unlike when dieting and you might actually skip breakfast, okay? When you're bulking and struggling to get in calories, the morning presents an opportunity to bang out a load of calories. So we're gonna eat, and we're gonna eat big. And we are at Aldi because of course we're keeping this meal plan budget friendly. And while I'm here, let me just take the time to please ask to like the video, subscribe to the channel, because man is helping you make all kinds of gains at an affordable price. But anyway, here we go. We need to get protein, carbs and fats. So as far as breakfast protein, whole eggs, not just the egg whites, are gonna be key. Of course, in terms of meat, you can have chicken, turkey steaks. I know it's super lean, but it's still a really good source of protein. If you're a real bro, you could go for a juicy steak. Sausages and bacon are actually going to be okay, especially the likes of chicken sausages, turkey sausages, and also turkey bacon, or even some of the reduced fat unsmoked bacon medallions. They'll be good. If you're in a hurry, of course, you can go for the pre-made stuff. So Cajun chicken, you have the turkey, you have ham, but you don't want to get too obsessed about protein. Sure, it's needed, but as the most satiating macronutrient, it's going to fill you up. So when you hit your minimum requirement, I would actually recommend filling in your calories from carbs or fat. But even then you have a problem, because carbs are normally more filling, more voluminous, and have more fiber, and are also only 4 calories per gram, much like protein, whereas fat have 9 calories per gram and are usually less voluminous. So which do you think is going to be easier to pack down calories and fill you up less? But that is definitely not to say that carbs are not needed. So some good breakfast carbs are porridge, of course, or even like granola, the trusty Weetabix, any kid's cereal. Comment below which is your favorite. Of course, we have bread, and we are talking the thick sliced bread, none of the low calorie stuff. You know, my breakfast baguette could be a good option. You have wraps. You saw I made a breakfast wrap in my last video. English muffins are actually a really good option. All kinds of hoagies. How can you not forget the staple bagel? Or even something like pancakes. Or even better, protein pancakes. If you have a protein powder, some oats, a banana, a bit of peanut butter in there. Another convenient source is actually hash browns or potatoes. Or if you're really struggling, then things like juices or smoothies can just help you scull down a load of carbs. So hopefully they give you a few ideas. Now let's get to your fat sources. Of course, you're going to have the staple peanut butter. Or hey, you know what? Feel free to even go for Nutella, or in this case, Nutoka. Cocoa powder and oats is pretty good. All kinds of cheeses, especially on omelets, is going to be like a game changer. If you're having oats, then forget about like the unsweetened almond milk, and instead even consider like full fat milk if you're really struggling, or just go for the light milk. And how can you not forget, literally the easiest way to add calories is to cook things in oil. So you can see per tablespoon 124 calories compared to this, which is what you'd normally go for, 1 calorie. Anyway, those are going to be some good breakfast ideas. Clearly there's going to be more, but for now let's actually get to making your breakfast. So as per usual, cue some sexy b-roll and a voiceover in 3, 2, 1. Okay, one take kid back in town. So we are having an omelette of peace and a big ass bowl of protein, and the link will be down below or in the description. I will do all the ingredients and the amount you need. But yes, you will have to weigh everything out, okay? And stick to this, because as seen in the graph by Johansson, 1998, when it comes to reporting energy intakes, most skinny people over-report their intakes as opposed to heavier individuals who under-report their intakes, showing that just how bad most people are at actually estimating how many calories they eat. And this is the case with most hard gainers. They'll say like, oh my god, I eat like 4,000 calories per day, I swear. No, you likely do not if you're not gaining weight, or if you are, then you're just a super hard gainer and need to eat more. Okay, but I can assure that most of you who actually follow this meal plan will finally start to gain weight and actually be shocked at how much that you have to eat to gain weight and how little you are eating in the first place. So that's your little bit of science thrown in there for you to show you and to probably prove just how little you are actually eating. So yes, breakfast of the day is going to be a big ass bowl of protein and an anabolic omelette of peace. So let's get back to the video. And there we have it, a perfect start to the day, high in carbs and high in protein as well. A big ass bowl of porridge. Pro tip is not to use too much water, because that'll just fill you up, and then an omelette with cheese on top. So yes, macros will be on the screen and all that jazz. Hopefully you like the little science bit in the voiceover, but for now we're going to move on to the next meal, and that is going to be your snack. And that is going to be from the other motherland, Tesco's. But yes, snacks, okay? They are going to be included in this meal plan because as per Koopman 2014, you can see in the graph that when added to ad libitum intake between meals, snacks represented an effective strategy to increase calories, and ultimately led to body weight gain. With another study that I often like to refer to by Kalova et al. 2017, where you can also see in the graph that they showed a strong correlation with increased snacking and meal frequency and weight gain. So yes, if you're struggling to get in calories and you're not snacking already, you need to start snacking. And oh my days, people, we have a queue of the gods. Not too bad, at least it doesn't start there, but it's still quite a hefty one. So here we go, we have about 50 meters to travel, but I did well last time, so I'm gonna guess 13 minutes today. So let's see how we go.
A few minutes later.
Actually just walked through the door, so 10 minutes pretty much on the dot. Moral of the story, if you don't want to wait, go to the Tesco's Ballybrack instead of the Honey Park one. But now, let's get to your snacks. But firstly, whatever you do not be going for like sugar-free jellos or any of the diet hacks I did in my other full day of eatings. Instead, you want to be munching on all kinds of nuts, no homo, but yes, walnuts, any nut in particular. So this bag, for example, has 700 calories. 700, guys, and look at the size of it. Seriously, I don't know how people struggle to gain weight. Dried fruit can also be an option, so raisins or just any fruit in particular. But here's a pro tip: avoid the likes of berries, they're more like of dieting fruit. Instead, go for the likes of bananas. Literally, I want you to turn into a monkey. Go. You could even make up, I know these are pre-packaged, but homemade flapjacks. Any jam or like peanut butter or almond butter can be good for sandwiches. Rice cakes are still good, you can just bring them to school, so the chocolate ones or even like ready salted ones. All kinds of granola or like breakfast bars, easy to put in your bag. Square bars are handy, Rice Krispie bars, or you could even make up your own. And like I said in Aldi, if you're really struggling, juices have been proven by DeGraaf 2012, I think, to actually be less satiating than solid ones. And D'Amelio 2000 has actually proved that they can help contribute to a calorie surplus and thus gain weight while minimizing satiety. So these are going to be key. Or these, in fact, as well. This is actually what I came for. Chocolate milk. They are going to be super convenient. So we're actually going to pick this up for the meal plan. As always, any Greek yogurt or high protein yogurt, or you can even get like the ones with like little bits on top already pre-made, like this one, 20 grams of protein. String cheese can be pretty handy. Of course, you can go for protein bars. These are by far my favorite ones. Or you know what, if you're really struggling, just buy yourself a Super Mario cake and eat that as your snack. Not serious, okay? But hopefully they give you a few ideas. Now, as per usual, let's get to your snacks through a sexy b-roll and some voiceover in 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. One Take Kid is back in town. Ingredients listed down below as per usual. You are having 2 snacks. Yes, 2. The first one being a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with a banana. To be honest, you can throw that anywhere during the day. And then a chocolate muju and any cereal bar of choice, ideally post-workout, as according to a study by Amari 2018. Oh my god, the light has gone off once again. How do I read this? Here we go. Amari 2018, chocolate milk showed to either provide similar or superior results on recovery indices compared to other recovery drinks when taken post-workout, and thus represents an alternative and often economic replacement. And we're all about budget-friendly gains on this channel, so if you don't have dollar for whey protein, then chocolate milk is for you. But yes, those are your 2 snacks. If you don't know how to toast up bread, spread peanut butter and jelly and chop up a banana and then drink chocolate milk and a cereal bar, then I really do question you as a human. So yeah. And that is a wrap, family. So you have your 2 snacks. You have your peanut butter and jelly sandwich, an absolute staple bulking meal that can be brought to school or anything. And then you have your muju and then your fruit bar or any granola bar. So yes, the macros will be on the screen. An easy way to pack down a ton of calories. Super convenient. So yeah, without further ado, let's get to the next meal, which is going to be your lunch. And we are back through a transition through the forehead. But yes, as per usual, we need to pick up a high protein, carb, fat and micronutrient food source for your meal, as per every meal. So for protein, instead of a lean chicken breast, you could go for like a rotisserie chicken. Oh my god, if you had smell-o-vision, guys. Now don't get me wrong, you can go for the breast, but things like chicken thighs or drumsticks have more fat, more calories, and they're actually juicier and tastier too. Any red meat is a good option, so steaks, meatballs. And then you know, when it comes to mince, I'm all about the super lean, 5% fat, but feel free to go for like the 10% fat. Pork mince is actually pretty good as well, or you can go for the pork chops. Same for like lamb chops if you're having a big filthy barbecue. Then when it comes to fish, the world is your oyster, literally, so you can go for oily fish or non-oily fish, but salmon is going to be such a game changer. Good healthy fats as well. Same for like mackerel fillets, or sometimes our family actually makes up like mixed seafood kebabs. Even the likes of like fish cakes, they can actually be okay. And again, if you want to keep it budget friendly, everything I've mentioned can be bought frozen, which comes far cheaper. Or even tinned, so how can you not forget like tuna, or there's like tinned salmon. But this is the one time you don't have to go for the brine. Shocking! I know, but you can actually go for the sunflower one, an easy way to add in calories. But yeah, hopefully they give you some ideas for your protein. Now let's get to your carbohydrates. So you're gonna want sources that don't swell up with a ton of water. So rice is actually a really carb dense, easy to eat carb source. The same goes for noodles, and if you watch my sumo wrestler video, these are actually really good. Tortilla wraps are always a handy option. Some naan breads if you want to make like a naan bread pizza. Speaking of pizza, you know I am a fan of making up my own pizzas with these bases. Burger buns if you're having burgers, or like hot dog buns. An absolute staple is going to be some pasta, famiglia italiana. And I say it every single time, if this is not the epitome of bulking, I don't know what is. Pasta is literally a lifesaver. Taco shells are pretty handy, fill those up with some beef and some cheese. And how can we not forget the trusty potatoes? So sweet potato, microwave white potatoes, big ass bags of rooster potatoes, all kinds of potatoes. Or even make up some like healthy chips, or just buy like sweet potato chips, they can be good. But yes, all of those are good carb sources. Now let's get to your micronutrients. So as much as it pains me to say this, I would stay away from green veg. It's probably the lowest calorie vegetable and highest in fiber. Instead, go for the likes of peppers. You know me, I love some tomatoes. Sweet corn is actually a pretty good veggie, higher in calories, so 107 calories per 100 grams. And here's the prime example. Compare that to green beans per 100 grams, 31 calories, so far less. Carrots and parsnips also have more carbs. All kinds of beans, so baked beans in sauce. You have black beans, you have taco beans, you have all kinds of beans. Peas are also another good sort of higher carb veggie. Hopefully they give you a few ideas. Now in terms of fats, if you pick the fattier meats and fish, they will include a lot of fat in them already. Or you can add like cheese, avocados and stuff. So I'm not going to go through all that again. But if there's one key tip you take, is condiments and sauces. Something I wouldn't even classify a food. You're putting it on food. So yes, per serving you're talking an extra 15 calories, so it's not a lot, but it will all add up. If you want to be real filthy, you can go for some mayonnaise in sandwiches. For noodles, the stir-fried packets can be handy. You can never go wrong with some sweet chili sauce. If making up curries, you can get like special Indian sauces. All kinds of pasta sauces are going to be key, even the pasta bake ones that I always say not to get. So 114 calories, but it's when you get to these bad boys that shit gets real. So pesto is your game changer, okay? Per 100 grams, you're talking pretty much 500 calories. Pour a whole jar of that over your big ass bag of pasta and famiglia italiana. You are literally in heaven. So yes, that is literally your protein, your carb, your micro and your fat sources all banged out the way. So finally, let's get making your lunch and cue the sexy b-roll and the voiceover in 3, 2, 1. And we are back, one day kid. Okay, so one thing I do want you to also note, by the way, your next meal, oh my god, I butchered this, is going to be 2 Chipotle bulking burritos. The ingredients will be down below, but yeah, I do want you to note, it should be self-explanatory, is that eating all this food is well and good, but you do still need to lift hard as hell in the gym alongside this, applying the basic principles of progressive overload, okay? Because as seen in the graph by Wills, 1985, I think, who showed that only resistance training or resistance training with cardio resulted in increased lean mass versus not lifting at all, where you actually lose it. Or in your case, couple this with being bulking and being in a surplus, you'll just gain fat and lose muscle, okay? So that's not what you want. You want to be lifting hard as hell and put all those extra calories to good use, okay? So yes, that is going to be your next meal. Again, all the ingredients will be down below, but 2 big ass burritos of peace. And once again, there we go, family. 2 bulking Chipotle style burritos. And again, super adaptable. So if you're really struggling with calories and want to add more, you can add like guacamole, cheese and all that jazz. But literally took like 5 minutes to make up. So also super convenient. So yes, that is going to be your lunch now. Hopefully you also liked a little bit of scientific talk about training. So speaking of training, we did actually work out this morning. Oh my god. Thank God. Jesus, okay, just went to 70. Oh, I can't just yeah, okay. That's the workout. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 37, not 32. God, I'm all over the shop. 37 rounds. Honestly, not too happy with how that goes, but I was shooting for a 146.7, and we got that. And for those interested, I have no idea whether these stats are good. You can pause and have a look, but anyway, that's the conditioning. Now we're gonna do a bit of weights, not much. And there we go, people. I'm keeping it real 100% again. I feel absolutely dreadful. Okay, that workout was probably one of the worst I've had for for a good few months now, but there's not much I can really do about it. But yeah, that is workout ticked off. Now let's get back to this video and actually cook up your dinner. But firstly, we are out ticking the boxes, and here's another pro tip. We know there are two sides to the energy balance equation. So if you're struggling to gain weight, maybe trying to reduce your energy expenditure would be a better idea. So yes, instead of training 7 days per week, balls to the wall, or doing 15,000 steps, maybe doing like 3 to 4 days per week or 10,000 steps could be beneficial. And that's right, we've officially now been to 3 grocery stores in this video, so the motherland, here I come. As far as dinner goes, the same exact rules as lunch apply, so I'm not going to go through those. Well, again, I'm trying to keep this video somewhat short, but there are still some things you're gonna need, and that is gonna be some reduced fat cheese, some lean ground beef, some penne pasta, some pasta bolognese sauce, some peppers, either white or red onions, and finally some kidney beans. But if you're an OG subscriber, you will hopefully know by now exactly what we're gonna make up, and that we therefore don't need any sexy b-roll or voiceover, because you know the deal. We have the pasta boiling and the beef simmering in the pan. When both are fully cooked, you put everything back into the pot because we can. You put it in a casserole dish the size of your head. Top it with some cheddar cheese, which happens to be red. And that's what bulking is all about. Woo! Oh my god, an absolute staple bulking meal. Familia Italiana. Look, we are eating out of casserole dishes the size of our head. But yes, the macros will be on screen for the staple pasta bake. And of course, I already know you're going to be asking, Scott, is that it, or do I still have to eat more? Look, you do have one more meal, a macro capper. So seeing as it's coming to later on in the day, it has to be something that no matter how full you are, you're still going to really want to eat. So I don't know about you, but when it comes to me, there's only one thing I can think of. And that is gonna be cereal, and not this clean, horrible stuff, the actual good stuff, okay? Because we've already eaten pretty clean today, so that means some junk food is allowed. As per research by Gibson 2007 and Livingston 2009, who showed that while micronutrient intakes do show a downward trend with increasing sugar intakes, this is of little nutritional consequence at intakes up to 20% of energy intake, meaning that once 80% of your diet is coming from clean, whole food sources, 20% can go towards junk. So yes, we're gonna pop those back. Pretty much taste like cardboard, and these are what I have my eyes on, but I wanted the milk chocolate ones. I don't know. Oh my god, there's one more left. Guys, I think it was meant to be, oh my god, but yes, you can pretty much include any kid's cereal, okay? But this is the one we're gonna pick up, the full-on dirty bulking mode one, in moderation, of course. So without further ado, we have a splendid bowl of milk chocolate pillows with a scoop of whey to see you off to bed. Perfecto. And that is your full bulking meal plan, banged out the way like shh. Okay, so macros for this meal and the meal plan in total will actually be on the screen. Now, you're coming close to about 4,000 calories, so here's a bit of a disclaimer for you. The point of this meal plan is to get you eating and realizing that you can actually gain weight and just how much you actually have to eat to gain weight. But as per a landmark study by Garth et al. 2013, huge calorie surpluses do not equal more muscle gain, and instead just result in a ton of fat gain. So if you do find that you gain way too much after like 1 to 2 weeks of following this meal plan, what I highly advise is that you cut back on the 2 snacks first and then the macro capper third, okay? But if you find that you're losing weight, then introduce them, but one at a time, okay, until you find that nice little balance of weight gain. Now, in terms of how much weight you should be aiming to gain, as per Alan Aragon's recommendations, you want to shoot for roughly 0.25 to 1.5% of your body weight, depending on whether you're an advanced, intermediate, or novice lifter. So the table will be there, but yes. Okay, so hopefully this helps you out. Please give it a go. If you want more bulking meal plans, let me know. We've had a lot of cutting ones, so I don't mind mixing and matching. But that is the end of this video. Hope you liked it. Give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Hope you all have a good day, and see you on the next video. Boop!